The rule of 72. The rule of 72 allows us to determine how long it will take for a compounding investment to double in value. So remember from the last lesson in 1.4, we had two different formulas that we could use. Primarily though, we would use this one right here. A equals principal times 1 plus r over n to the power of n times t. And I said we would only be solving for A, or in certain circumstances we would be solving for P. But that T, since it's in the exponent, is really hard to isolate. You have to use logarithms, and those are whole different concepts in math. Luckily, we have the rule of 72, which helps us to estimate. Now, this is just an estimation for compounding investment, but it gives us a pretty decent idea. The formula is really easy. T equals 72 divided by R all the time, where the rate, where R is the rate, and it is as a percent, okay, not as a decimal. So if I were to say 4%, 4 would go in here. Okay, and time, we didn't change anything on you guys. Time is in years. So determine the investment rate you were given, remove the percent sign and insert into the formula, take 72 and divide by this number. Now we might have certain circumstances where we want to solve for the R instead of the T. I have another little triangle of awesome here where 72 reigns supreme, and we have T and we have R here. So if we wanted to solve for T, we simply cover this up and we say T equals 72 over R, or we could simply cover over the R if that's what we're solving for, and we say R equals 72 over T. So let's just do some questions here. How long will it take for an investment to double at an 8% interest rate? Well, T equals 72 over R, and this right here is our R, and I plunk it in just as 8. So T equals 72 divided by 8. That means T equals 9 years. What about this one? How long will it take for an investment to double at 2% interest rate? Well, we're looking for time again, so T equals 72 over R, and this guy right here is our R. T equals 72 over 2. That means that the time that it takes for an investment to double at 2% interest rate is what? 36 years. That's a long time, but it's a lower interest rate. Last but not least, what rate do you need for an investment to double after 18 years? Say you have a certain goal you must meet financially. Oh, that's not a great triangle. There we go, that's better. Let's look at this triangle of awesome, 72 on top, R and a T. If I am looking for the rate, I'm going to say R equals 72 over T. We know that T equals 18. So 72 divided by 18. R equals, and I can follow down this R here, R equals 4%. And that's that. It's a pretty nice little formula, very easy to use. The only thing that is difficult about it is to remember when to use it. Okay, so whenever you want to find out what the doubling time of a certain investment is, like for example, how long it takes to go from a $500 investment to a $1,000 investment. So we're doubling it in value. So it's very easy, just sometimes we forget about it because it's so easy.